Personal Podcast. Today I am joined by my co-host, Ruben. Leroy is lost.
Yeah.
The boy.
Yeah.
We also have a special guest today, the owner of Antilabel. You want to say what's up, my guy?
What's good?
How you doing today, bro?
I'm good, bro. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty well, man. We wanted to bring him on today because honestly, we haven't really had anybody outside of music kind of come on to our podcast. You personally, you do some clothing yourself, right?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been doing clothing, by the way?
Since I was 12 years old, so around like 4 years.
Okay, you like 4 years in. And what has Antilabel been like for you? Like, what has that whole process been like for you, kind of developing your own brand?
I mean, it's been a beautiful thing, like ups and downs and hella shit like that, but it's been smooth, bro. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's really fun to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely, bro. And it's crazy that you've been doing it at such a young age. So I want to know a little bit more about that. Like, what kind of drove you at that age to kind of want to go into clothing a little bit?
I mean, it's kind of cliche or whatever, but like, I feel like I was going down like a bad path, and like, I kind of wanted to stay out of that. So
Yeah.
I really like making clothes because I feel free when I do it.
Mm.
Like, it's like therapeutic almost. So like, I feel like that's what drove me to do it. It's like addicting almost.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I want to do, and I've always wanted to do a brand. Like, I remember being in like 4th grade, I'd be like telling kids like, I want to make a brand. Like, I want to make like
Yeah.
I had this idea for a T-shirt. I was like, I really want to do this, and they're like, oh yeah, like they're really supportive actually. At like such a young age, it's kind of weird, but yeah, I just remember like since I was super young, I've always wanted to do something like this, like be a creative. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so what was that like though? Because I know definitely like when you're a kid, most kids aren't thinking about that kind of shit. So was it like a cool thing to kind of want to pursue like a brand, or was that kind of like a weird thing growing up, like among your peers?
So like, you mean like to other people is a cool thing?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, bro, I never really pay attention to like how others think like
Yeah.
me. So, but like honestly, it's just, I don't really know that.
Like, do your friends know that you do clothing right now?
Yeah.
What do
yeah,
they think
my
about
friends. I think it's super sick. Like, my two or three friends are actually creatives as well. They make
Yeah.
music.
Okay.
So
I think what Jose is trying to ask is how like, do you get like a lot of support, or is it a lot of like you feel like
weird looks.
do you get a lot of support from your friends? I guess is kind of what he's trying to ask.
from my friends, yes, most definitely I get tons of support. Like they buy it, they repost it on Instagram, all that type of shit, comment, all that. But yeah, like from others, it's whatever. It's like
Okay.
50-50 almost. So it's, some support it, some don't, but pretty soon they're all gonna be supporting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that. Well,
Yeah.
I definitely want to talk a little bit about Antilabel and what that is for you. Like, first of all, how did it start? Where did that idea kind of spring in your head that like, I want to sort of switch brands and I want to go into this direction?
So originally, for the people out there that don't know, I had a clothing brand before Antilabel. It was called Uncrowned Kings.
Okay.
And it was like just a bunch of graphic shirts. I actually designed all of it on the Instagram story thing, you know, where you can edit stuff.
Oh yeah.
I one of them was like a Mona Lisa piece. It was inspired by Virgil actually, and I was like editing it on there. And there's like this one app, I don't know where it was, but like you can make shirts. This is before Shirt App and all that, where you can make shirts, and it would take like months to come in. And I ordered 4 shirts, so I ordered like 4 shirts, and I sold a bunch of shoes for it because I used to collect shoes.
Mhm.
So I sold a bunch of shoes for that. But then the transition into Antilabel was like, it was a different thing, because I was like, I can really take this to like, because when I was doing Uncrowned Kings, I didn't really look at it from like a business perspective.
Yeah.
But now Antilabel was like, I took in like, looked at it a different perspective, like looking at it a different way. And I was like, I could definitely do this in like a business aspect, and I can make a change in like the end, like this whole game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what sprung to me like the first thing that I definitely noticed about your brand was how professional it looked. I definitely didn't think it was some 15-year-old running the page. I thought it was, like some kid in his 20s, doing some sort of like clothing brand from the area. When he told me, I definitely didn't think you were 15. I was like, yo, like this is like already like whole ass concepts into these collections, and he's dropping like 3-4 pieces at a time. Like, ain't no way he's doing this on his own. So first of all, I want to get into how you got into that, because did it first start as these like deep rooted messages within your clothing, or did it start at something else?
It actually did. So yes, it started at like deep messages. Like I really like, even when I listen to music, I really appreciate those type of things, like deeper meanings and like crazy stories behind them. So I was like,
Yeah.
I want to do that with clothing as well. So yeah, it's always started as that for sure.
Mm. And then, how did it evolve into what it is now? Like, because I'm guessing in the beginning you were only doing a couple pieces at a time. So how has that evolved? Like, how long have you had NT label for?
I started it summer of 2018. So like
2.5 years.
yeah.
Okay. What has But have you noticed like a transition from the beginning of the brand to where it is now in terms of like the quality of the products,
Yeah.
or the amount of detail that goes into them? Like, has that evolved throughout the time?
Most definitely. It's like I always put it as this because I get that question a lot. So like
Yeah.
I always put it as like, if you looked at Picasso's first piece and then you look at his last piece, it's not going to be the same at all.
Mm-hmm.
So if you actually looked at like my first Antilabel piece, you'd be shocked. It's nothing like how it is now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm really proud of like the way it evolved and stuff. So it honestly started as like logo tees, just logo tees with Antilabel on it, but it's a completely different font.
Yeah.
Like that's the new font right here. Oh yeah, right here. It's on my shirt too.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was like a weird font. It was like,
That
Thank
is
you,
a
bro. I appreciate
fire
it.
ass piece right here.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, so yeah, it just started off as logo tees and stuff, and they were cheap. It was on like black and white blanks, or my first piece was black and yellow. I'd pull up the picture, but I don't think I'll be able to find it.
Nice,
I wish I
okay.
brought it through, but
We'll put it on the podcast
For
for
sure.
people to see it.
yeah, I appreciate that. But
yeah.
yeah, bro, it evolved crazy. So
Yeah.
it's just super cool to see that.
You wanna take over?
I get I piggybacking off what you guys was talking about, bro, and how like what I think is like so impressive at like such a young age, bro, is like little things like tags, bro. Like I just feel like people don't think about that stuff all the time, bro. So like that was one thing I noticed on your page. I was like, damn, bro, like he really got a tag made. Cause that was just like, that's crazy. Like that's like professional, you know, like industry level shit. So like that really surprised me, and I was like, that's pretty cool. Like
Yeah,
I was
bro.
fucking with that.
I appreciate you noticing that, because like I feel like certain people, like I rarely take things to heart, but like when you put your heart into like a clothing piece or something, like, oh, you don't put enough time or detail into your clothing. I'm like, dude, this is all I think about all day. This is like my whole life is just clothes. Like that's all I think about. That's all that like goes through my head is clothing. Or like, how can I take this to another level? So yeah, like I appreciate you for noticing that.
Nah, yeah, man, hell yeah. What I noticed that you said like you had a piece inspired by like Virgil. Just wanted, like, I know he just passed away. That's crazy. He was a big inspiration for me. I know we had talked a little bit earlier. You had saying like you had said he was inspiring for you. So like you like what aspects about like his work inspired this piece? I guess is just like my question.
How do I put this? But like, yeah, like what were you saying before that? But yeah, basically like, yeah, dude. Honestly, I'm pretty sure everybody's been like touched or inspired by Virgil. It's undeniable, like his like effect on everybody and like his legacy, all that. But this piece specifically, I actually watched a Virgil interview. I was like, this guy's really smart, and like you can tell he's super passionate about like certain things he does. So I mean, that's kind of what inspired it. Like he talked about like his creative process and stuff like that. I was like, dude, that's super sick. So I actually tried his creative process, like the way he went about doing it, and it worked. And I had came up with that piece, but it was a Mona Lisa piece, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the Off-White Mona Lisa hoodie.
Yeah.
It was this is for you guys out there. This is for like my the previous brand, not Antilabel. But yeah, that's basically how I went about doing it. That's what like.
That's
inspired
dope.
it.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
I appreciate it.
Nah, yeah, man, he definitely was a big inspiration.
Definitely.
I guess I want to talk a little bit more about like what fuck, I don't know.
All right. Well, I mean, kind of touching on that Virgil thing a little bit, because, you know, he was such like an articulated, well thought speaking guy. Like whenever he would kind of, and I know you and me were talking about that little video series that he had with Hypeland, as well as some of the other like clothing brands that he tried to mentor. the way that he would express his ideas, it would make so much more sense. He would say like stuff like, you know, you got to break it down. You got to stop being so complicated. There's too much right here. You know, this could be 4 collections. Like, he was really about simplicity, and that's what I like. That's what I try to implement in my clothing, at least, is the simplicity aspect of not putting too much, you know what I'm saying? Because I definitely feel like less says more. And in a bigger canvas, you know, the less words you have, the more impact those small words are going to have on the people, you know? So like, speaking of kind of what he's taught me a little bit, what do you think he taught you?
I mean, it's crazy because I don't really mess with like a lot of other like artists or like other brands out there, but it's just crazy because after he had passed, like, it made me think. I'm like, damn, dude, like his impact is crazy. But like what you're saying, like what kind of impact, or like what kind of like, honestly, just go out there and do it. Like, be yourself in a way, because I remember like I don't know if you guys seen this, but there's like a Raf Simons interview, and it was actually one of like Virgil's like biggest inspirations. And the interview, basically Raf Simons just bashed him, like was just going on like, oh, this, that, like he's just, I don't see his brand going anywhere. I mean, look where Off-White is now. So that's basically kind of like the inspiration behind it. It's just like, just be you, go out and do your things.
So going off on like, you know, talking about peers and like stuff like that, do you have any like collabs that you've done, or any collabs that you want to do, or is there like how do you feel about collabs?
Honestly, I don't really want to collab with like anybody in like this underground like shoewear, like whole little scene going on. Like, I just don't really like working with people. Like, I just don't really want to collab with anybody, cause like I like being like an independent person, you know what I mean, like independent brand owner. Yeah. But like collabs in general, like I definitely want to collab with like Converse, my favorite shoe brand ever. Converse, and like Converse, or like any, I just want to collaborate with like shoe brands and stuff. Yeah, definitely. So that's definitely like, me and Converse will have a collaboration one day for sure.
So where does that tie come in with shoes? Explain that a little bit more. Do you do custom shoes, or like?
Dude, I used to be a fat ass sneakerhead. Like, really? When I was like younger, like 11, 12. Yeah.
And then, have you ever like customized shoes, or have you ever done anything with shoes? Like, where does that like want to?
When I was like, my bad for cutting you off like that. But when I was like younger, I used to want to customize shoes, but I didn't know how to do it. But nah, it's just, I don't know why. I used to like shoes a lot. Like, I used to have so many shoes, like hella Jordans and just shit like that. So I don't know, but Converse is just like, you can do anything in these fucking shoes. Like, play football, fucking skate in them. I've done so much shit in these shoes, and like they last so long. So that's really why I fuck with Converse.
I feel that.
Is there any designs that you like? Have you ever designed a pair of shoes? Not really like made them, but like designed them.
I gotta keep that shit on the down low key. But yeah, we got I got something coming in like this next year for sure.
Oh, okay. So you've been working on that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm starting to put some thought into it.
Did you ever play with like the Nike ID website where you just like customize hella shoes and not order any of them?
Bro, oh my god, dude, there's so many times I've customized so many shoes. Yeah. Like, when I was like, I was young too. I was like 9, and like I just go on Nike ID like after playing some Minecraft and shit, and just go crazy on Nike ID.
I love that, man. So I mean, I want to talk a little bit more about Antilabel, specifically this piece right here, because I see you got the pins going. You got the little, was that stitch right here on the?
I got a sewing machine.
Oh shit, bro! He knows how to bust down, bro. So explain this piece a little bit. You got prints going on. What's the inspiration behind this piece?
So this piece is like, I call this shit like a conversation piece, because it's just like you see, and it's like one of the craziest shit you've ever seen, but. I just got hella bored, and I was like, like I said, like, me making clothes is therapeutic, and like I have so many like pizzas like this, but basically like I just kind of wanted to go crazy on it and just let my mind go free, and this is what I came up with.
So that's so crazy. So this piece is thrifted, right?
Yes, everything on here is thrifted.
And then you printed the actual Antilabel on top of that?
Over the Prince logo.
Okay, yeah, this is sick, bro. No, I
appreciate that a lot.
What's your experience with thrifting? Do you fuck with thrifting like on the regular? Or?
Yes, dude. Like all my clothes are, cause like I said, I don't really fuck with like a lot of other brands. So yeah. All my clothes are from like thrift stores and shit.
Dude, I was about to say, I don't do a lot of online shopping. For somebody that designs clothes, you'd think all my money would go to clothes. But I really just wear what I make, to be honest.
Dude, I feel people ask me that shit. Why do you wear your own brand? Like, what does that even mean? Like, if I made, what does that even mean, bro? It's like
talk, bro, talk.
Like if somebody made their own music, they can't listen to their own music, or like anything, bro. Like, you're telling me like I can't wear something I made? That makes zero sense, bro.
If you can't consume what you're making, why do you expect others to consume what you're making, bro?
And why do you make it?
And why do you make
Like
it?
I just make like I literally like I don't know how to put this, but I make whatever the fuck I want to make, or I just make whatever, you know what I mean? So like of course I'm gonna like it, and I'm gonna want to wear it, you know what I mean? This is like something I made, so why would I not wear it?
Dude,
Doesn't make any sense.
you need to keep thinking like this, bro. This is
Appreciate it.
Hey, this is ahead of the time, especially for your age, bro. I remember when I was 15, I wanted to know about 3 different things. I wanted to know about cars, girls, and sleep, bro. And that's it. And that's it. I wasn't worried about nothing else. I actually used to do YouTube back in the day.
Really? I did too.
I used to do YouTube pretty often with my homies. We would do like dumb shit like like the crossbar challenges and like soccer. We would do chicken nugget challenges, all that kind of stuff. And then that sort of evolved into me wanting to do film. So then me and him kind of got put on together into a class from film school. And then that's obviously where we ran into the fashion class, which, that opened up a lot of doors for me. But definitely I saw that transition going from like my love of film to my love of clothing. And I definitely have tried to implement that, especially now. I don't know if you saw that little clip that we just posted.
I think I did see that, yeah.
Yeah. So we've been trying to do a little bit more film stuff with the clothing. But I want to know, because you did mention gaming, was there any other previous loves that you had before clothing?
Bro, it goes way back. But I used to do YouTube too, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was super young then, so it doesn't really count. But I used to be in love with like filming. I had a VHS camera.
Oh, that's sick.
I just used to, because I used to skate a lot.
Yeah.
So when I'd skate, I just go out. I used to be outside a lot. So when I go outside, I just film whatever I thought was like cool and shit. So on my last Instagram account, it got deleted. But I used to like post like a lot of my filming and shit. It would do numbers for some reason. So I was like, I'm gonna keep doing this, and the numbers would just keep going up. So I was like, it's just super. I get to do shit I like, and I get numbers from it. So it's super cool. But basically like, besides clothing, just I had a film camera too, but I couldn't really figure out how to do that shit. So basically, just before like clothes was just filming. I love filming.
Okay.
Yeah, just random shit.
You got anything? Or are you chilling in the back? Talk a little bit about the piece that Ruben has, because I know this one's unreleased, so we won't point it out too much. But what's going on here?
So this is I dropped a collection in January, my biggest collection ever. Not like quantity wise, but like meaning wise, and like it honestly opened a lot of doors for me, and like it kind of blew me up in a way. But it's called By Any Means.
Okay.
It consisted of a vest, a hoodie, and a ski mask. So the vest, this was gonna be the original vest, is a tan vest. So that happened.
What ended up being the final product then?
It was a black vest with
vest.
with like white ink, or like white writing. Writing. So yeah, but
And this is your latest drop?
No, this one isn't. This was gonna be the one that came out in last January. January.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be doing a part 2 of that collection, because like I said, it's like my biggest collection.
Yeah.
So, but that's not gonna be till like my fourth year anniversary, probably 3-year anniversary.
Damn, that's crazy. You really been at this for 3 years, bro. Because me and Bleach Noise have really been at it for about 3 collections. About to be a year now. So to see that you've been at it for longer than me, that's just inspiring, bro. Like,
appreciate that,
honestly, I feel humbled like being in front of this kid, because I'm like, by the time he's our age, bro, he's gonna be shitting on us, bro. He's gonna be like out there.
Hell no, bro. We all go up together.
Hey.
It's never been like that for me. Like, if you fuck with me, I fuck with you.
Yeah,
so I appreciate you guys for having me on here.
Nah, hell yeah, man. So I want to talk a little bit more about the inspirations that have been going into your pieces, because at first glance, I already knew you had a lot to say, and you weren't really being shy about what you had to say. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't want to be a lot of people try to be politically correct, you know what I'm saying, and try not to step on people's toes. Yeah. And I understand where that comes from, but I can also understand when you're young, having that voice and wanting it to be heard. So what made you kind of want to put these messages out there in your clothing?
So honestly, bro, like, how do I put this shit? So like I said, like, I like making things I like to make, and like when I make pieces, like, going back to what I said, it's therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
So like I speak through clothing. That's the best way to put it. So that's just basically how it went. Like, my opinions go on my clothes, or like my opinions of the way I think goes on my clothes. So I mean, there's not a super deep meaning to it, but like I mean, I kind of enjoy a little bit stepping on people's toes and shit. Like,
yeah,
I kind of like, nobody wants to consider themselves a rebel, but that's kind of how I put myself.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of like that's kind of how it came about, doing these kind of pieces.
And where does that philosophy like stem from? Like, where does that wanting to be heard on that kind of platform? You know, because you're talking about some very serious topics that we deal with, especially, you know, within the past year and a half. If you saw the riots that were going on in San Jose and everything, you speak a little bit about that as well in one of your pieces, right?
Yeah, I dropped that piece like last May. Yeah, I know what
Yeah.
piece you're talking about. But yeah, that one's the chaos for peace. Peace. But yeah, basically, wait, can you re-ask that question? I'm sorry.
I mean, like, where does that philosophy stem from? That wanting to talk about political things instead of things that, you know, other people might be comfortable with.
The main purpose for Antilabel is to it's like a clothing brand that brings attention to issues in today's society. So I mean, like if somebody were to look up it actually come up. I have the definition on Urban Dictionary.
Oh, really?
I got it on there. Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, is there a meaning to Antilabel?
Yeah, that's basically the meaning behind it. So that's how all these pieces came about because, like I said, it's made to bring attention to issues in today's society, and like I donate to like foundations and stuff with some of the jobs. I appreciate you, bro. But yeah, so that's why I make these pieces and shit. Because I want to help out. I want to like make a change, like I said.
Dude, I didn't even know that. Okay, so for sure, go check out his website.
I appreciate it, bro.
Where can the people find your stuff, by the way?
Antilabelco.bigcartel.com. I know it's a long website. They took away my domain because of the pieces.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, like 3 times, and they tried to like ban me from Big Cartel. Yeah.
Wait. Talk a little bit more about that. What the fuck? What do you mean?
So I don't know what piece in particular it was, but like they said my pieces were like offensive or like offending people, but it's just like what are you talking about?
Wait, what domain carrier do you use?
Big Cartel.
Big Cartel?
Yeah.
And are they kind of like Shopify where you can have like your own like e-commerce website and everything?
I don't think Big Cartel has that actually.
So is it just a domain that you got from them?
I actually bought it through Google. That's Google Analytics. I think that's what it's called.
So then my question is, how do you run your website? Is what I'm saying. How do your pieces get sold online? Is it through online orders or is it through DMs?
No, online orders.
Online orders.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, was it Big Cartel that decided to take your domain away because of the pieces you were selling on the website?
Yeah, that's what it said in the email. It's like we can't support like what you're posting on here because of they just said they can't support it.
Crazy,
so
bro.
I was like, fuck. So I can't even get a fucking domain.
Cause I've said some, I mean, not political shit, but I've said some opinionated shit on my pieces before. Not really like that, but I'm just saying like I've never received no type of like, you know, for using profanity or anything like that on my pieces. So that's just crazy to hear, bro. I want to know a little bit more though about the actual process of you making these pieces, right? Because do you make these all from home?
I can see what you're saying now. But yeah, these are all made in my bedroom. So yeah, in my bedroom.
And is it like a made to order kind of process, or is it more of like you hold inventory and then you just sell out whenever you do?
This last shop I stopped doing made to order because it's kind of like complicated. I mean, it's not complicated, but I don't enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
So now I hold the inventory.
Yeah, and I will say, made to order is good in the beginning, but it is so fucking stressful because you handle everything, the
Most
whole
definitely.
thing. So when did you start to consider the possibility that you could do this as like a career path? Because I know it started as a passion project, and I'm sure it still is. But at some point, you start seeing a little bit of money come in, and you start, you know, thinking a little bit different. And you said it yourself. You're focusing a little bit more on the business side now this time around. So where did that start to change?
Honestly, like now that I'm growing up, I'm 15 years old now, but like I'm in high school now, and I'm hearing like people are getting jobs and shit, or like filling out college applications. I'm like, bro, I don't want to fucking do any of that. Like I want to do what I want to do, and I've always said that since I was a young kid. Like I don't want to do school. I don't want to like have to like go to a job and obey somebody else's what they're saying. So, but then like recently with this last job, I never like talking about numbers because like I like to say I'm a humble person. But
Yeah.
like with the numbers with this last job, I was like, holy shit, bro! Like I could really like make a living off this. I've always said that like without the numbers, but like this last job proved it to me. You know what I mean?
There's a difference between thinking you can do it and knowing you can do it.
Most definitely.
And once you see just a little sliver of hope, it kind of gives you that extra engine in the tank to kind of just keep going and keep digging. And dude, just to see the kind of like determination that you have at your age, like I said, bro, it's really humbling because me and him were not like this at 15.
Yeah, I
He
appreciate that,
he
bro.
was on some other type of lifestyle during that age. You know what I'm saying? So it's really dope to see that there's other kids around the area that think the way that we do. Because me and him are still kids, man. I mean, I still think we're still kids. And
I feel you with that one.
we love to see people that think alike in the terms of like loving what you want to do and not doing it because you think it's going to give you anything but satisfaction for your own self. You know what I'm saying?
That's what like I think I've had a few people come to me for advice and shit, but
Yeah.
like they're basically like saying, "Oh, I want to start this brand," but like the first thing I tell them is, "Don't do this shit to blow up."
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
"Oh, I'm gonna drop this one thing and then I'm gonna blow up off of it." Never do that. Like that's one thing I made sure of. Like while doing it is like climbing the mountain, like always going up the mountain like this. Like I never wanted to go like this and then just like blow up one day and then next day nobody knows who the fuck I am. Like that's always been a big fear of mine.
Yeah.
So I mean, like yeah, definitely don't do this shit just to blow up. You know what I mean?
I agree with you, and I want to get a little bit back into the collaboration aspect because I definitely had some stuff to say about that. So I know you said you've never wanted to collab, but if you could collab with any brand out there currently besides Converse, not shoes wise, is there any brand that comes to your mind?
Probably like Dickies or like Jordan or like something like that.
Okay.
Like it wouldn't be like a brand that like I don't know how to say it. It wouldn't be a shoe or brand or none of that.
Yeah, because the main thing that I first noticed when I saw your pieces was like, whoa, this kind of reminds me of Revenge a little bit, like that kind of rebellious vibe.
Yeah.
And it had a little bit of aspects of that. So if I thought of any brand, I think that would be one. But I definitely feel the same way because I've never ran into any local brands that I really heavy fucked with. Besides yours, obviously.
I appreciate
Not
you a lot,
shitting
bro.
on it,
I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah. But one of the things that I definitely want to do in the future is collab with brands that aren't necessarily clothing wise. Like I think it would be so dope if I collab with like Oreos or like
I want to collaborate with Tesla.
Yeah, or like some crazy shit that has nothing to do with clothing. I think it's those kind of collabs that kind of bring the eyeballs to people and be like, whoa, like what the fuck, like what are they even gonna collab on type shit? You know what I'm saying? Kind of going more into the future and what is going to be coming up. I know for me, I got another collection coming out in sometime in January. And that is going to conclude my first year for Bleach Noise. Do you have any current projects that are coming out soon?
I don't really like to talk about like I'm not saying like anything to you, but like I don't really like to talk about like the things I'm gonna like drop wise because honestly, bro, I can't even like I don't even know right now. I just dropped like one of my biggest collections and shit. So right now I'm just.
How long ago was that? Your last drop?
November 13th.
Oh, so you just dropped? What the fuck?
Yeah, I just like shipped all the orders out and shit. So I'm gonna just wait it out a little. I like to chill a little bit. And I like to. It's kind of weird to say, but I like to be inconsistent when I drop, like, because I feel like people are more attracted to that than like if I dropped every single month or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I like to be inconsistent. So I don't want to put out a date yet, but you guys will see, dude, some crazy shit this upcoming year.
I definitely will say the window for me is about 3 months per collection. It takes me about 2 to 3 months to kind of fully come up with the concepts, the pieces, and then actually push them out. But I definitely try to have at least 4 collections throughout the year. That's just me personally because I feel like anything less, I'm like just being lazy or whatever. What I want to know a little bit more about, and I'll let Ruben kind of take on the floor right now, is was there a specific amount of pieces that went into mind when you dropped this last one, or do you kind of do it piece by piece until the full thing is ready?
When I do a collection and shit, I want to make sure it's short and sweet, cause like if I did like 10 pieces, I feel like I wouldn't put my heart into all those 10 pieces unless I did. But I want to make sure it's 3 pieces that I put my heart into and that I fuck with heavy, and I know other people will fuck with. 3 pieces minimum, usually 3 to 5. I don't think I'll ever do like more than 10 ever. Okay. Yeah, that's just how I put it. Yeah. But yeah.
No, I understand that completely too, though, bro. Cause it's like, what I was gonna ask kind of was, how do you feel like you need time in between like collections to kind of reflect and kind of like, cause okay, like Jose said he likes to drop he likes to drop 4 collections a year, and I feel like when we do that, it's to kind of give ourselves some time to like get some more experience, you know, and reflect on where we are right now, see some growth, you know, and then come back to it um, with like a whole new approach, you know, basically like where we're at then, you know, because I feel like art is one of those things. It's like it's ever growing, you know.
Most
Art
definitely.
art is always gonna be like consistently changing and altering, and that's good. And it just means that you're growing as an artist.
Hell yeah, thank you, bro.
But like, so what I guess like yeah, like my question is like, do you use like do you try to get time in between? Do you feel the same way? Do you try to get time in between?
Yeah, most definitely, because like when like after a collection, I want to make sure like my headspace is cleared. Like I want to make sure I'm refocused, because when you put like that much, like when I drop collections, like I call it collection mode, because I almost feel like I'm going to like war or some shit, bro, like some crazy, because I'm so fucking like locked in. Like I cut everything, I shut my phone off, I do so much crazy shit, and like I actually like I've burned a few bridges doing that, like not in a bad way. I mean, not burning bridges, but like lost a few people by doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I always want to make sure like I take time off and like get to live life, like he said. You know what I mean? But like and then like at the same time I look at like statistics and shit, like how can I take this job to the next level? You know what I mean?
So you feel like do you use like is your would you say like your brand is like you already said that your brand is a reflection of like your opinions and stuff like that.
Most definitely.
What other aspects of you do you put into like your brand? Like yeah,
not just like the opinion thing occurred, but it's not just like my opinions too. It's just everything, bro. Like whatever goes on in my head or some shit. If I see something fucked up, I want to make a piece about it. Like if I see like something crazy that's going on, I want to make my piece about it, because I don't want to just like post my opinion on my Instagram story or some shit. Because what am I doing with that? And like I said with the pieces, like when I drop something and it's about a problem, I want to make sure I'm contributing towards the problem, not just putting my opinion out there. But yeah, like with your question, but yeah, it's like right now I see what you're saying with like the opinions thing. Right now it's just my opinions, but within this next year it's gonna be like whatever's going on in my brain,
right?
Not just opinions.
Right,
yeah.
right. Yeah. You have you lived in the Bay your whole life?
Shit, what's that? I actually lived in San Diego for 2 years.
Oh,
yeah, with my mom.
Snap.
But it was like a short 2 years. But yeah, other than that, I lived in the Bay Area my whole life.
That's sick. I actually, before we kind of get into that, I wanted to talk about that album mode that you or the collection mode that you just talked about, because that part about burning bridges, that part is true. I literally just had that conversation with one of my boys named Lando. He's a music producer and an artist, and one of the things I told him was like, man, like I'm having a hard time maintaining relationships, maintaining friendships, while also feeling like I gotta give it 110% of my time. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that he told me, he was like, it just comes with it. You know, it's one of those things that unfortunately
sacrifices.
We have to make sacrifices, and not every friendship and relationship is gonna get through to that. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely think you try to prioritize and try to, you know, keep the people closest to you in your thoughts and in your, you know, in your circle. But I definitely want to talk about that album or that collection mode, because I definitely feel like I'm at war with myself during that time. I am like so locked in that I am like almost in a bad mood. Like
hell yeah, bro.
Like
no sleep and shit like
no
that.
sleep, and it's like constant thoughts of like, you know, I see a little piece of like paper and I'm like, oh, that's like a cool catchphrase. I can add that here. And oh, that's a cool little tag that I see on a shirt. I can do something similar to that and order it here or whatever. Where does the process start for you? Is it a Sketchpad? Is it a Photoshop? Where does the collection process start for you?
I want to make sure like my ideas are never forced or any of that. So like it just one day I'll be in the shower, a fucking idea pops into my head. Or I'll be in class and an idea pops in my head, and then it all just stems from there. And then I make a vision for it. I always make sure there's a vision for everything I do, and then like. Yeah, I want to make sure there's a vision for everything I do. So when I do that, like when I lock in and shit, it just gets crazy. Like you said, like you feel like you're at war with yourself, bro. Yeah. And like you're in a bad mood and shit. It's crazy. But like, and then after, It's just a good feeling.
Yeah, after
You
you're
put that
at
shit
you're
out.
at peace, man.
Deep breath.
But I want to know, because there's a transition between an idea in your head and putting it either on a canvas, on a piece of paper, or whatever. So are you a sketcher? Are you a on the computer kind of designer? How do you get those ideas from your head onto the canvas?
Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm actually shit at sketching and drawing and all that.
Okay,
I
okay.
suck at it. But like I don't design on a computer or anything. I actually design everything on my phone. Everything I've designed has been on my phone.
That is crazy. Okay.
Yeah, but like I tried Adobe Photo, like all that shit, like Illustrator and all that was just too complicated for me. And everything I did, so I have this app called Fonto. I just design everything on there.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah,
That's
thank you. I appreciate it.
That's actually that. Do you remember that one video by Steve Lacy, the one where he talks about recording music on his phone, and it was like his TED Talk?
Yeah, his TED Talk.
What was that called? The minimum max. What was it?
I don't even remember what it was called, but it's Steve Lacy's TED Talk. He does.
So do you want to talk about it?
No, I was just going. Yeah, he just talks about how he does a lot of his first album was produced all on his phone. He talks a lot about how he used his phone as his main source to produce. He just used some app and he would just chop it up and then put it on the computer and record over it, like his voice memo and stuff like that. And yeah, it's crazy because like we never really think about how useful these is. And I actually remember Virgil talked about how his phone was his biggest thing when he first started at too, and he used I can't remember the app. He said like WhatsApp or something like that. That was like always his go-to. He always would just draw on it real quick and then like later go and do like the minor touch-ups, bro. So it's like, yeah, bro, these little like devices, bro, they're a lot bigger than we think. You feel me?
Yeah.
I think Childish Gambino said in the song, he says your phone is a tool. And Kanye West, I saw he had a tweet about it. He said like, don't use your phone as something like a chore. Like you don't need to go on that shit. But he says use it as a hammer. Like when you run into something that's broken, use your you're not gonna use your phone to fix them, but like use it as a tool.
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
Yeah. Dude, that's so sick that you do most of the work on the phone, because I have a PC and I feel like, sometimes I'm limited, and it's like to hear that from you, and it's like, dude, like I got all the tools I need. You know what I'm saying? I got nothing to complain about, and that is sick, because I actually started doing films on my phone. Actually, when he first met me, I was actually doing just little short films and posting them on my Instagram or whatever. So that's sick that you get to do all that on the actual device. Now, do you connect your phone to your Cricut device, and is that how you get the designs on there?
Bluetooth.
Oh,
Bluetooth,
okay. You got the 4, right?
Yeah, whatever. It's not the newest one. It's like the 3, I think.
But you got the little one or the big one?
It's big. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, that's sick, man. I mean, it's sick that you're making it work with the equipment that you have, and a lot of people would just sit there and complain and say that they don't have this or that. So the fact that you're just making it work, determination, bro, that just shows through, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But like, yeah, I'd recommend that to any like artists out there. Like, don't feel pressured that you need to go buy a fucking like. I have a MacBook, but like, don't feel pressured you need to go buy $1,000 MacBook and fucking $40 a month Adobe or whatever Adobe Illustrator. You know what I mean? Don't feel pressure to do that. Just use what you got. And honestly, it's not even like, I had paid like for Adobe. I think I prepaid for like Adobe Illustrator for like 3 months or something like that. And I never went on it once because I was either too lazy. I was like, fuck that. That shit seems so complicated to do. I'm just more comfortable doing shit on my phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah. And you're going to build like the full skills on your phone to where it's like it's just going to be natural to move into like a laptop or a computer. And I feel like once you use all those resources that you have on there, and obviously once you start working and get a little bit more money on you, those other resources are going to become a little bit more like easy to transition into.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, bro. I mean, I'm glad you came onto the podcast because we definitely had a lot to talk about. I definitely don't think your story is fully written though. I think you have a long way to go in everything that you're going to do, bro. From what I've seen, it just has me excited to see what like your potential is, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Is there anything you're looking forward to in 2022 in terms of Antilabel? Any goals that you have in mind?
I mean, I've said this shit from the beginning. I'm not here to take part. I'm here to take over. So it's just going to be completely take over. That's my just keep like stepping on everybody, stepping up. I mean, not like
Nah,
everybody.
yeah.
But like just people that I'm fuck with. Like I'm gonna lap
Mm.
everybody. So that's just the plan. Is just keep my foot on the pedal.
Yeah.
That's the whole plan.
That's beautiful, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
I want to thank everybody for coming on to the podcast.
Yeah,
this
thank
has
you,
been
guys.
episode number 5 of the Personal Podcast, brought today by Andre and my co-host Leroy. We were joined today by the owner of Antilabel. Thank you so
Yes,
much for
sir.
stopping by, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys a lot.
Yeah, man. The floor is yours. 30 seconds to say anything you want to the crowd, anything that you got coming up.
First off, I want to say like thank you guys for having me on, cause like I really appreciate what you guys are doing as well. It's like I see what you guys are doing is pure and like it's from the heart.
Yeah.
It's like through passion. Like,
Thank you.
It's not forced at all. So I really appreciate you guys having me on here and shit. But for the floor thing, to any like, actually first off, fuck everybody that doubted me. That's just what I gotta say.
Hell yeah.
So that's basically all I want to say.
Hey.
Fuck everybody that doubted me.
Hey, we love that. We hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your night. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode, and we will see you guys on the next one.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Hey, yo, if you don't fucking wave this time, dog, thank you so much. All right. Goodbye.
All right then.
I always give him shit for that.